Hello baddies! I am trying to live life and feel okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend to be a booktuber because why not? So today I think I'm gonna choose my April TBR. I did start trying to choose yesterday and I just didn't really think through how I wanted to go about it. So I didn't really do anything with that. But today I think I have more of a plan. I am going to just keep my books where they're at on the shelf and I'm gonna roll a random number generator. It's just gonna lead me to the book that I am reading. I don't know if I'm making that make any sense. I'll explain more in a second here, but first I want to review what books I'm currently in the middle of reading. I am in the middle of reading 4 books, which is it's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it is not as bad as I've previously done. I'm currently in the middle of reading Alchemized. I am a little bit behind on the whole Alchemized reading sesh. I never read Manacled either, and I kind of wish I did, but this book is deep. It's insane. My marker is not in the right place because, to be so honest, I started reading this back in January, and I think because of its size, it just kept intimidating me so much that I just wouldn't pick it up. And then I also was just getting into a reading slump, so I didn't pick it up. I didn't continue reading like I should have. Yeah, I had to start listening to it because there was no way I was going to continue getting through this if I didn't listen to it or force myself to read it, and forcing myself to read it would have honestly gotten me nowhere because I wouldn't have been able to comprehend what I was reading. So I am quite a bit further than this marker. I am now in part 2. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, that's one of the books that I'm reading. Another book that I'm reading is Just Friends by Haley Pham. So this actually came out on my birthday, and then my name is also Haley, so I was like, I have to get this book. It is a sign that I have to get it. Literally by someone with my name coming out on my birthday. So I got it. I am almost halfway through, maybe a little bit less than halfway. It's a cute little romance book. Again though, I've been fighting off a reading slump, so I've just not been pushing through this as fast as I probably could if I was in a really great mood to read. But we are going to try and fix that because I need to fix my life in general. The next book that I am currently in the middle of reading is The Shuddering, which I'm reading on my Kindle. My Kindle's dead, so I can't pull it up for you. I need to go charge her. But it's a thriller, maybe horror. I don't know if it's really horror, but a thriller book. I got it from Kendall Watson's video. I don't think Kendall loved it, but I had been doing this challenge earlier in the year where I was just picking out these random prompts, and one of the prompts that I picked out was read the same books that my favorite booktuber read for a week. So one of them was The Shuddering, and then that's also where I started reading Alchemized as well. But Kendall, she was reading this book, Alchemized, and a couple other books. I have once again been reading this since January, and I need to buckle down and just finish her because it's also not that lengthy of a book, and I usually can get through thrillers pretty quickly. Their food bowl just went off, but I can usually get through thrillers pretty quickly, and those are always a good book for me to read when I am in a slump because it's just everything's so fast paced and it usually keeps me enticed in the story a little bit more. The last book I'm reading, and don't make fun of me, The Total Money Makeover. So this book, I decided that I was going to start doing the whole personal curriculum-esque thing, and I have 4 courses that I have signed myself up for, and one of them is a personal finance course. So that's where this book comes in. I have just barely gotten started. I guess I'm about to start chapter 2 or whatever, but that's 8 pages deep. I did read the preface, the introduction, all that as well, which those are Roman numerals instead of counted as page numbers. This book, I am not as concerned about finishing this month because my course program is going to last me until mid-June, so I have a lot of time to buckle down on this book. But these 3 baddies right here, I want to finish them before April. I like really want to finish them. These two especially because I've been reading them now for about 2 months. This one I've been reading for 2 weeks. I just need to wrap them up in a nice little bow. To get me excited to read again, I'm like, let's go ahead and pick out the April TBR. So hopefully this will get me in like a good mindset and make me excited to read, and hopefully make me excited to finish what I'm currently in the middle of so that I can get to my April reads, because I honestly should not be picking up any more books right now. I am going to put in the amount of books that I have on my physical TBR on all of my shelves, do a random number generator, and I'm just gonna go through my shelves and like count the books that I've not read until I get to that number I randomly generated. I hope that kind of makes sense. I know I had 67 books on my physical TBR in 2025. Now, since then, I have bought 5 more books that I have not read yet. I have 72 books on my physical TBR. Hold on, I also, actually, that's not even true either, because I need to fix the books that I'm currently in the middle of reading. Yeah, okay, I have books that I need to take off here. So I actually have 70 unread books on my physical TBR because I forgot to take off Alchemized, which I'm currently in the middle of, and I read Red Rising. I finished that early in February, so I forgot to take those off my list, but I have 70, which is quite a few. Any books that I haven't read that are kind of like stacked oddly, I am going to move. And then we'll pull up the random number generator. We're gonna do 1 through 70 and we're gonna see what I roll. How I'm gonna go ahead and count is I'll count the stack, which is sitting right here, and then I'll just go shelf by shelf like I'm reading. So top 2 shelves, next row, next row, next row, and then go over there. I really need the physical TBR to be really good right now, and it will be. And you know what? I need to remember all of the books on my shelf are still on my shelf because I either really want to read them or I'm okay with reading them. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I have some books from early when I started reading that I'd picked up from like Goodwill and things like that when I wasn't really familiar with what books I would like or wouldn't like, and I didn't know anything about any authors or genres. Hello? When I didn't know anything about anything, these are just like the random books that I had picked up, so I am gonna go ahead and hope that it is a beautiful mixture of all the books that I really want to read and some of the books that I am okay to read. I hope that makes sense, but me and Zay are gonna roll. He's probably gonna want down soon. Zayden, I wish you could press this button for me. Generate. It's 36. All right. Let's get to counting. Starting over here. So this 1, 2, 3, and then I've read the rest. Read those. This is 4. Hello? This is 4. Let's just do it this way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many are in here? How many are in here? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, oh my gosh, 28, 29, 30, 31.
And I'm trying to get to 36, so holy cow, I didn't realize how rough that would be trying to get down there. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. That's so hilarious to me, just because yesterday when I was attempting to pick my physical TBR without any like guidance on what I was doing, this was the first book that also ended up getting picked. So okay, it's a sign I need to continue the Throne of Glass series. I have a lot of books to read before October. I'm only halfway deep into this series. I still don't even own the last book in the series, Kingdom of Ash. And then I only have the first book of the Crescent City series, but I haven't even started that yet. So Throne of Glass, Queen of Shadows, we are gonna get into it. Anyways, let's roll the second one, okay? Woo. 22. I wish I kept track of where I was at. Wait. 21 was a little life, wasn't it? Which would then make The Help 22. So this is a book that I had picked up when I'd like first started reading because I had seen the movie, so I was familiar with the concept. I also at the time was studying criminology and sociology and social work in college. Race, gender, all of those areas of like discrimination really intrigued me, and I was learning a lot about at the time. So this being a book about Black women was especially intriguing to me, and when I saw it on the shelf I was like, I need to get that. So got it, just to come to find out that Catherine Stockett is actually a white woman. And that is a little bit disappointing. It is still, I feel like, an important story to read. I just wish it was a story that came from the source. You know what I mean? I wish it wasn't a white woman writing about Black people's lives. So far, we have range. We have a lot of range. The Help, Queen of Shadows. Next, roll please. I really wish I was like keeping track of my counting as I'm going, but 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm like not taking you guys on a journey again with me unless we have to go back over there to the bottom shelves. 11. All right. We got the big old baddie here. We are gonna read a classic. I gotta take this sticker off. I picked this up from good old Costco, and yeah, it just, I think, has most of Jane Austen's works, if not all of them. The complete novels of Jane Austen, so I'm guessing all of them. I am actually kind of excited because this will be the first ever classic that I read. I did read Perks of Being a Wallflower, which I guess is considered a classic, but it's like modern, so it's a modern classic? I don't know. But like I read Great Gatsby in school. I've read like some other books, but I never actually ended up finishing any of the books that I read in school, unfortunately. I think the only one I ever actually like finished was maybe Of Mice and Men because it's tiny, but I'm excited for this. So technically the book I guess I'm supposed to read, just because it's the first one on the list back here, is Sense and Sensibility. I don't know if that's the first one or if Pride and Prejudice is supposed to be before Sense and Sensibility, but I might just read them in the order that they're in this book. I don't know, like why would they put them in the wrong order? We are going to be reading one of Jane Austen's works, and if it makes sense, it will be Sense and Sensibility. I just saw that there's like a whole introduction to Jane Austen in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and like tie that in with the book that I end up reading from here. I'm gonna put it back on the shelf for now though, just so I can continue to count it in the order, because there are 5 other book options packed into this book that I could pick up. So all right, that was number 11. Come on, let's get a big number here, or not. Oh my goodness, I'm actually so scared. Magnolia Parks. Why am I scared? I've already tried to read this book. I got 50% in. I was not feeling it. I guess it's amazing for some people how much knowledge that Magnolia has into like clothing and outerwear and things like that, but like I could not keep up with her. Like she was talking about like someone's clothes and I'm like, you are speaking straight gibberish to me. I like actually don't know what you're saying, and I wish I did. I wish I had more of like an understanding of fashion, beauty, all those things. I don't. So it didn't resonate with me, and I literally stopped reading halfway through the book. I was actually like 52% in and just put it down. We are gonna try again. I also had tried to read this like my first year and a half into reading, and at that point I'd only read like 20 books, so I was trying to give like benefit of the doubt of maybe I just haven't had enough time or haven't like gotten deep enough to like understand or connect with this book, but we'll see. I'm really nervous. My friend literally got this book for me because I'd talked with her about the series and how I'd watched like Sarah Caroli talk about it and all these other like booktuber people talk about it and how much they loved it, and I was like, maybe I'll love it because like I have relationship issues all the time in every relationship I'm ever in, so like maybe I'll connect. I did not connect. I did not. We'll try again. So that's book number 4. We have 1 left. Let's see what it is. I really hope it's something over on that shelf. Like, send me over there, please. 18. It only wants me to stay right here on this shelf. I picked one book from that shelf. It was the first book, and that was it. All right, book 18, Butcher and Blackbird. So this is the last book on my TBR. I've also attempted to read this book, but this one I only got like one chapter deep into and then put it down. I'd never let myself like base my full opinion off the first chapter, but if I'm not feeling it in the first chapter, I do let myself put it down. However, like the Fearless trilogy, is that what it's called? Powerless, oh my gosh. I'm thinking of the last book, the Powerless trilogy. I picked up that book maybe 7 times and read the first chapter, and it just wasn't really like clicking with me, and I wasn't like comprehending what was happening. And then the 8th time that I went and picked it up and read it, I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and I loved it. Loved that book. So if I'm not feeling it right off the bat, I do let myself put it down. So this book, I wasn't feeling it right off the bat, I put it down. I am kind of like a mood reader, and I don't ever want to go into a book in a bad mindset or not connecting with it, because then I don't give it the room or the potential appreciation that it would deserve. So Butcher and Blackbird is the last book on my TBR. All right, baddies, this is the full stack for my April physical TBR. Low-key, some good things, some exciting things, but I won't even lie, some problematic authors in here as well. So yeah, we are just gonna go ahead, do what needs to be done. We are going to read them. I've already owned these books for years. Everything besides the complete novels of Jane Austen I've owned for years. So we just need to go ahead and read them and either get them off our shelf or let them sit and rot. So that is me choosing my April TBR. I hope you have fun picking your own April TBR, and let me know what books you're planning to read in April, because I'm curious and I love knowing what other people are reading and talking about books. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and be the baddest baddie you could possibly be. What am I saying? Be the baddest baddie you could possibly be. And scene. Bye!